Welcome to the awesome world of watercolor, or watercolor. Either way, it's the same painting medium that has been around ever since the cave paintings of the Paleolithic Europe time. Watercolor is named for its primary component. It consists of a pigment dissolved in water and is binded together by an agent, usually gum arabic. Watercolor became popular in 1780 when artist William Reeves started making these little watercolor cakes that are used in schools all around the world nowadays. One of the benefits of using watercolor as your painting medium is the ease of portability when you go out to paint. All you need is some paper. There'll be more on the different types of papers that you can use later. Some paint, some water, and your brushes. There's some other tools that will be handy as you're painting watercolor, and we'll go over those later. One of the best things about using watercolor is you're using water and no solvents, which means no fumes that will affect you. The only smell that you get is when you wet the paper. Sometimes people think it smells like a wet dog. One of the other benefits of using watercolor as a painting medium is that you can let the water do the mixing for you. You can wet a surface, apply a little paint, and let it flow. On the other side, if you apply a different color, the two will eventually collide, if it's wet enough in between. In this series, we're going to cover what is pigment, the stuff watercolor and most paints are made out of, different types of brushes that you can use, the different types of watercolor paper and how to choose which one is right, preparing your paper to paint on, setting up your painting area, the different various techniques that you use when painting with this medium. You can even kick back and have some alcohol while you paint. But not drink it, not the kind you're thinking of, but instead, you can use rubbing alcohol for some of the techniques that you can do in watercolor. More on that later. And finally, we'll have some paint-along sessions. There'll be 4 altogether to bring everything that we learn into one. The first is painting a round surface such as a ball. This will help you learn how to control the paint. The second is some trees for a landscape, and this will help you learn how to develop depth by using values and also proportions. The third is a floral painting to help bring everything together we've learned up to this point. And finally, we'll do 2 advanced paintings, which will be a landscape and a portrait. Don't worry, if I can do it, you can do it. Welcome to this world of color. Let's go ahead and get started.